Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to the Red Sox season. I don't know. That's
No, stop that. Stop
No.
that.
No, come
Stop that. There's so many young, great, talented players. Jared, I got to tell you, as a fan, I'd much rather see the kids come up there and struggle and fuck it. You know, isn't that what a fan wants to see, Jared? Isn't that what a fan wants to see?
Yeah, you saw my take on the broadcast last night?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a big league broadcaster, Dallas. I don't know if you know this about me, but
it's a take.
Pretty much everyone agreed. So it seems like only the
fans
washed up former pitchers that can't do it no more are the only ones that don't agree with it. I mean, I feel like there's a connection there. Pap didn't agree. We got crusty ass Dallas who doesn't agree. But if you look at the comments, everyone's like, fuck yeah, Jared, great take. This is an awesome take. This is the best take. Love the take, Jared. All the comments agreed with me. No one agrees with you besides Jonathan Papelbon.
Yeah. Well, look, this is where Pap's coming from. This is what you got to understand, Jared. It's something you do understand, which is shocking to me. That's why I don't understand it. There's a lot of understanding and not understanding going on right now. And I'm sorry that you're on the wrong end of it, but this is a results-oriented business. You're bitching, pissing, and moaning about wins, and in the same breath, you're bitching and pissing and moaning about wanting to see guys up here, and in the very same breath, that's a lot of breath, they're not getting the job done. So, do you want wins? Okay.
I don't know that this makes any sense.
Do you want development? Okay, but if the development and the wins aren't coming, then which one would you rather have? And you're saying, well, then just give me the development. Well, if that's the case, then you have to just button it up and wear the L's as they come, knowing that you've asked for this.
That's absolutely what I said. I said I would rather call up all the kids and watch them play 400 ball than watch aging veterans who can't perform anymore play 500 ball. That's what I said.
And all I said at the very end of all of that was you just got to button it up now, which means no more tears. Yeah. Stop the crying. Stop the whining.
Well, it hasn't happened yet. Roman Anthony's still in AAA. So there is going to be
how do you know that Roman showing up isn't the Trojan horse, Jared? And with him come victories. You like that, Jay? That's so layered right there. How do you know that doesn't happen? He didn't even get it. How do you know that doesn't happen?
Trojan condoms, Justin.
No. Why? Because you feel like you're getting fucked? No, it's just.
I do. I don't think that there's this idea that, yes, in some corners of the fan base, they view Roman Anthony as a savior. I don't. Okay. I don't. That's not I'm not saying call up Roman Anthony to save the season. I'm saying this is so unwatchable that let me at least watch. Like if this is going to be another developmental year, then let them develop up here where we can watch every day. I don't care about wins and losses at that point. I just want to watch them play. That's it.
And I totally and to put the serious non-trolling hat on, I totally respect that. And I can appreciate that because I have watched a similar situation unfold multiple times in front of me.
It can be fun.
Well, it can be fun. And what it can do is it can also incite some interest for the upcoming season. What's tough about that, brother, is we're having this conversation in May, right? That's the fucking tough part is we're talking about looking forward to next. It's like, whoa, pump the brakes, buddy. This thing is, there's still a little meat left on this bone. Is there not? Are we ready? Are we already at the point where we're calling up prospects and banging the season basically? And you hate to think that you're at that point. But again, I understand the desire to give me the future right now. And I'm not asking for W's at the same time. And that's where my comment ultimately was meant to land is you can't have your cake and eat it too. So it's either get excited about the prospects being here and then shut the fuck up when they get their dicks kicked in, or that right there, that's fine. Now I'll be honest. Do I believe that you and the fan base have it in you to just quietly take one on the chin for the next 4 months?
I do.
No, I do not.
We've done
I have little to no faith.
2014 was that. 2014, you got Vasquez, you got JBJ, you got Mookie in September. Xander was in his first full year. Like that was the core of a championship team. I mean, they were 4 years away, but I remember going to Fenway being like, this team they're not winning shit, but like, this is the future. Like this is what we're seeing.
So that
I want to give you some statistical context. Here's some statistics and why I'm not premature for being like it's fucking over. Red Sox, this is from our guy Black Irish. Red Sox teams which had 30 or fewer wins after their first 60 games. This is since 1997. Through 97 to 2019, it happened in 4 times in 23 years. 97, 2012, the Bobby V year, 2014, the year that I just mentioned, and the following year, which was also a last place team. 20 through 25, it happened 4 times in 6 years. 2020, that team was abysmal. 23, last place. 24, last year, which was a 500 team, and then this year. So only one of the previous 7 teams finished the season with more than 78 wins, and the 2024 team, which was 81 and 81. So there's absolutely no precedent for where the Red Sox are at right now, where the end result is a winning record since 1997.
And so the feeling is we're that same team again. Let's just get the young, potentially impactful players up here together.
Let's not waste the
together.
year. Use it as developmental. Get Roman Anthony up here so he can play with his pals.
I mean, we're past the point of control for Roman, right?
Yeah. Unless he somehow wins the Rookie of the Year when he gets called up, then he would lose that last year control. It would be, yeah.
But that would also net you another draft pick, which would mean you're just getting that much closer to adding a guy to this core. Because if you land your first rounder or your sandwich pick, well, now that guy's just, a couple, maybe a few years away. And to your point about a 4-year gap between the arrival of the core and being able to enjoy the fruit of that core, it would stand to reason that Roman Anthony winning the Rookie of the Year could potentially net another impactful player that would be there within that window of competition.
I can't talk about life after Roman Anthony before the motherfucker gets called up.
No, it's not. It's not life after. It's life with Roman. It's life with Roman. Roman's bringing you life.
Okay. Well, he's not bringing me life right now, and it's not his fault. He homered again yesterday, fucking 117 miles an hour off the bat. Guess we got to see some more from that guy. So, I think it's dark times here in Red Sox Nation. I'll take the L on that one. I said that this was going to be a playoff team. I take that back. Absolutely not a playoff team. Picked them to win the division. There's 0% chance that that's going to happen at this point. And they're just a tough watch. They're a bad hang, as they say. Like if the Red Sox were a guy personified, bad hang. I don't want to hang out with that guy. Just a bad time all the time. Just dragging you down, bad vibes. Just a bad hang.
The loud handsy drunk guy at the bar who just doesn't know when to fucking stop. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're just embarrassed to be around them, be associated with them, but like you have to be. It's like it's more like that, but they're your cousin. It's like I'm fucking stuck with you. But like I wish, it's like, oh, like my cousin, he doesn't have any friends, and then you try to introduce him to your friends, and you're like, oh, this guy sucks, but like there's nothing I can do about it.
Does this guy have to come? Yeah, he absolutely has to come. Do I want him to come? No, but he has to.
Right. And I know that he sucks. So like now I'm doing this to all of you. So
hey, you're a dick.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at on my team.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's
Red Sox.
Tough morning. I don't know if you probably do. You literally feel this way. I don't really drink a ton, but I always describe this as like whenever if something goes really bad for your team the night before, you wake up the next morning feeling hungover. Like if your team takes a bad L the night before, I don't know any of the non-drinkers listening to this. Don't you wake up the next morning being like, oh, what the fuck happened last night? You check your phone and like you look at your social media and you're like, oh fuck. Walk-off grand slam after you had a lead in the 9th inning. It's like it hits you different. You start your day slower. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think I'm alone. I think that there are plenty of diehard baseball fans out there that can relate to the feeling that I had this morning without a single drop of alcohol, wake up feeling hungover and starting my day so much slower than I would have if the Red Sox had just fucking finished off the 1-0 win in the 9th.
Well, you're going to have it sounds like it's just sounds like you're preparing for a bender, pal, because this is 4 straight months of you waking up feeling like you just got shit-faced.
Years, Dallas, years.
Sounds like you got a problem. Sounds like you have a problem.
Yeah, I do. I think there's going to be some shakeups on Thursday, but I don't want to make this too Red Sox heavy. Underdog just dropped their playoff basketball promo with the extender. You can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. Start a playoff series by using your Game 1 boost and continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one. The longer the series, the bigger the boost, and you're going to want to see how serious it gets when that Game 7 hits. Hop on Underdog, the best place to make picks during basketball, playoff basketball, and get started right now. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's Jared to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. One last thing that I did want to say on that, though, at like the Red Sox angle, is when I tweet, like, it's been 4 fucking years of this shit, and then you get your Pirates fans and your Reds fans and whomever fans being like, 4 years? That's cute. Try and be a, insert shitty team fan. And my counter to that is, and maybe this is ignorant, it's got to be easier to be a fan of a team that you can expect shittiness from.
No.
It's way worse. No. It's way worse to be a fan of a team where you have grown to expect greatness over 2 decades. And you've been trained to expect greatness for 2 decades, and then out of nowhere, it's just taken away. Like being a Yankee fan, they never fucking win the World Series anymore, but they get there, they make the playoffs every year, they have a winning record every year. Like, I don't want to hear from them. Like when they're like, oh, we haven't had a World Series since 2009. It's like, but you get to watch entertaining baseball every year for 6 months, no matter what. The Red Sox fans, it's like, yeah, like we've had some great times. We've had some awesome times. But now, like, we watch 500 ball every year. Like, that's crazy to create a rabid, diehard fan base that, again, you don't have to win the World Series every year. You don't even have to make the playoffs every year. But they don't even have they haven't had an interesting team in 5 fucking years. That's crazy.
I didn't have you volunteering your what sounds to be crippling jealousy of the New York Yankees franchise and their success.
No, I just said that they have no right to complain about the no rings. It's you get 6 months of watchable, entertaining baseball every year, guaranteed, no matter what.
I think a lot of people are going to interpret that a lot of different ways. And I think there's going to be a lot of folks who are going, man, I didn't have him being this openly jealous of
I'm not jealous.
Success.
I'd rather be me than them. I'd rather be me than them. Give me the rings over the playoff appearance.
Do you know how sweet the nectar is, Jared, when you do eventually win? And I can't even speak to it on a championship level because
no, you can't.
89, buddy. It's been a hot minute. So when that love and all of it comes together in the form of a victory, that nectar, there's just no sweeter juice out there. So I can appreciate the expectation and the idea that you've been Pavloved into success, and you hear the bell ring and you start salivating and you think a W's coming, and then no W comes. Your bowl of W's is empty. I can appreciate and respect that, but I gotta believe that the eternal hope that a fan has of a shitty team, that's the burning desire. Like, do you know what kind of mindset you have to be in to know that it's been decades since you've sniffed a W, like an important W, and still show up every day like, today, boys, here we go. Today, this is the year. You have to be demented. It's
EMT humor. It's EMT humor where,
yes.
So, like I went to medical school or EMT school for 9-10 weeks. And they just kept preaching, like, you've got to be a sicko to do this. Like, if you walk into a house and there's dead bodies and blood and guts everywhere, like,
dude,
how we cope with this in the field is we do make jokes about it. And it's the same thing if you're a Pirates fan or you're a Marlins fan or you're a White Sox fan and you still love the game and you love your team. It's like, you the only way to cope with how shitty this situation is, you have to laugh it off. You can't actually have real hope and optimism. You have to go take it for what it is.
Think about the conversation we're having in Bucko Land right now, daily. The conversation we're trying to avoid having. Like, how long? How much longer do we have with them? How much longer? You think that's fun? You think that's fun? The game's greatest fucking arm talent? And we're like, oh, let's enjoy him while we have him. It's so like,
and he just got here.
Waking up like that every day.
Here. Yeah.
Every day. Yeah. Like you draft the
it's
guy,
apples and oranges. Both situations bad,
the
Dallas.
Clock is immediately ticking. And you're like,
both situations not fun. My situation not fun. Your situation not fun. Pirates. Yeah, we can go down the line. Rockies fans. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of, but they're not all. They feel different. They're different kinds of pain. Yeah. My pain is unique, but it's still pain. I still feel it every day. I just wear it.
I hate to see you at the point where you are publicly and openly admitting the jealousy of the Empire.
Like no, I don't think that's that could not be less envious of those people. Yeah, there's nothing to envy there.
I mean, next thing you know, you're gonna be having fucking lunch and dinner with old boy out in the fucking bleachers.
What's his name? Arnold? Mark.
Oh, don't act like you guys don't already fucking text.
I don't think we do. I would. I'd love to talk to the guy.
Yeah, I don't think we do. I could probably confirm for you on a solid level, like who I do and don't text with.
Yeah.
You sure you don't? No?
No.
I'm not totally convinced you can, Dallas, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair, Jay. That's fair.
Yeah. He's got like brothers in his phone. He'll be like, "What's up, brother? What's going on, brother? What you got for me, brother?" He doesn't remember anyone's name. He's like how David Ortiz got his nickname Big Papi because he forgot everyone's name. He just called everyone Papi. That's Dallas, but he just substitutes Papi for brother.
That's not true.
Show me some love, brother. What's up, brother? That's what he did every time he's at the yard. He'll just walk around. He doesn't know a fucking single person's name. Good to see you, brother. How you been? How's the kid? How's the family? I don't have kids. I'm not married. All right, brother. Good to see you.
That was my mother, not my wife. Oh,
my mom teaches swim lessons at the local YMCA, and this guy who comes in all the time with his kid, one time instead of him coming in with his daughter, his wife came in, and my mom referred to the wife as the grandmother.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
And the guy's like God. My age. He's like 40 years old. It's not even close.
I got to tell you guys this story. A story along those lines. In the minor leagues, in spring training, like you take vans, right? You're taking multiple vans driving to your location. At least we did, because we didn't have a bus. So we're in a van, and one guy's driving, or one coach is driving. Our bench coach or the hitting coach is sitting in the passenger seat. And this fucking car is coming up next to us, like trying to pace us, right? And catch us. And somebody in the back of the van is like, "Yo, will you look at this fucking duck? Look at this broad, blah, blah," just going off on this chick, like how she looks, right? Like, and then apparently she like waves and smiles, and they're like, "Oh my God, she's smiling. Tell her to stop." She's like, she gets up, they get up to the fucking front of the van. It's our hitting coach's wife. And these dudes have just been absolutely mangling her for like 5 straight minutes, bro. And like, it's just worked out perfectly where traffic just can't quite get there. So he has no idea that she's next to us. And she eventually gets up there, and that's why she's waving, right, to get his attention. And these guys in the back see her, and they're just fucking crushing her. And eventually he just turns around and just shakes his head like, "You motherfuckers, you mother." But like, his wife just got annihilated for 5 minutes. I felt so bad. I felt so fucking bad. So bad. Because he's a great guy.
Great guy. But,
Great guy.
I mean, sounds by his
So
body
his
language.
wife, I hope.
Yeah.
Great girl.
Yeah. Sounds by the body language that they were making a lot of good points that he didn't necessarily disagree with, but just embarrassing to have them pointed out. Have his beliefs be reaffirmed by a jury of peers.
Kind of tough.
Yeah, that's tough. Hang with them. I hope they're still together. I hope they're still having a happy life together. Shohei Ohtani hit his 20th home run last night.
You see where the ball went to?
Oppo, yeah.
Yeah, but I promise you, he borderline thought it was a foul ball. Like he wasn't sure where it went and then picked it up and was like, oh, it's 350 down the line. Sorry about that. There's 20. It's stupid. It is stupid.
Is there anything that Shohei can do moving forward that would actually like take your breath away? Because I feel like it's a short list. I'm not saying the list doesn't exist, but it is a short list now because of not just because of what he's already accomplished, but just because of I don't know what you expect from the guy now.
Well, I mean, what, like the 5-homer game?
Ooh, that'd be cool.
I mean,
that's a good fucking. That's why we have you on this show, Dallas. Usually you have trash takes for the most part, but like suggestions like that is why we have former Oakland A Dallas Braden on the program.
I blow past the 4-homer game because it's like,
we've seen it. It's been a while though. Who is the last one?
No, it just happened.
Eugenio
Suarez did it earlier this year.
Oh yeah.
It had been a while, but I'll say this: if Shohei Ohtani has 4 home runs and gets a chance to come to the plate with 4 for a 5th, I know what's happening.
Well, hey, I'm telling you right now, he in LA on his fucking bobblehead night, he had already popped 2. They were
and
up
you
by
knew that was happening.
Touchdowns.
You knew it was happening.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, they were up by fucking 17 runs or whatever it is, and everybody. And this was kind of cool visually to watch from a press box perspective, from a booth perspective. You could see all of the fans as the Dodgers came up to their last at bat, right bottom of the 8th. You could see all the fans get up and start to leave, and then I swear to God, all of them at the same time remembered, oh shit, Shohei might hit this inning. And you could see them all kind of like turn and look. You see Shohei getting his helmet on in the dugout because he's batting third. And I swear to God, everybody that was in the aisle just stopped. And it was all good. The ushers didn't tell anybody to sit down and shit. First 2 batters rolled through their ABs. Ohtani came up. People watched. He got done. The park fucking emptied. The park emptied. I was on I-5 out of Dodger Stadium from the booth on I-5 in 10 minutes. Simply because Ohtani got his last at bat. Everybody was happy, and then they left. I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, this is legitimately 30,000 people all at the same time going, oh, no. We're not done here. We're not done here. There's still some meat on this bone.
Did you see that the Dodgers are now using 2 team planes because they want the players to have their own plane to build team camaraderie, and then the coaches have their own plane?
Love that.
Do the A's even have a plane? Are you guys airborne?
Yeah, we are. We
okay.
do not take a hot air balloon.
All right. How does that make you feel, Dallas? Like the Dodgers having 2 team planes? Have you ever heard of something like that?
It's about right. No. This would be the first time that I have heard of teams flying 2 separate aircraft, strictly for team bonding purposes. That's a hell of a place to be financially, Jared. A hell of a place to be.
Like the from my estimation, someone that has not played big league ball.
Typically, we have a front plane, like the front of the plane and the back of the plane, not 2 fucking planes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like it's almost like you can get called up to there's the big leagues, and then there's the Dodgers. Like there's the big there's levels to this shit with your big league experience. Like I don't know. I feel like when we start to criticize these players for going to the Dodgers, I don't know that we can begin to do that. It's like if I were
You've
a
never
free
caught
agent,
me criticizing.
Yeah.
if I were a free agent now, I mean, because before I did feel some type of way, depending on the player and the situation, but some type of way for certain individuals. But if I were a free agent and it's you have to think about this. I have one life to live, and I have, in some cases with these guys, one crack at free agency, and the Dodgers want me. Yeah, I'm gonna go there.
And even if it's playing a supporting role in a year where, right, in your in your walk year, even if it's a supporting role, think about the success you're projecting for yourself being a part of that group, right? If you're an offensive player and you find yourself like, oh, can I slide in somewhere in the 7th or 8th spot amongst these behemoths and eat? And if I do, what does that look like? And what does my earning power from there look like? Because now you're saying to yourself, if I do well enough where there's going to be multiple suitors in free agency, I'd like to think that somewhere along the line, the Dodgers would appreciate what I've done and might be interested in bringing me back. And if it's apples to apples, whatever the Dodgers are offering, done. I'm your dude. I don't even need to see the other offers. I can come to you and go, this is what I'm fielding. This is what we've got going on. Are you interested? And the Dodgers like, yeah, for like $5 million less than that on the AAV. And you go, oh, sweet, done. Cool. Where do I sign? Because I'll be on the first plane out of here, not the second one with the coaches.
Yeah.
Well, on a practical level too, like, can you imagine having experienced the life of two planes as a player and then being, signing with a new team or being broached with the idea of signing with a new team and realizing that they're a one plane baseball team?
Yeah.
And it's
you want me to ride the same plane with the broadcaster? No.
Wait. Yeah. Like Dallas is going. No, that's we're not doing. we're not.
Imagine going from the Dodgers to like the A's situation right now. Like Luis Severino was already complaining about the clubhouse situation, being like, I have to change my whole routine because of this. Imagine being a starting pitcher for the Dodgers, and then you get traded to the A's, being like, this is not the big leagues. Well, literally, it's not. Like, the ballpark is literally not a big league ballpark, but just the accommodations, and it's not even like I can't even like consider them benefits. Like, some of it should just be bare minimum requirements of a big league team to afford these. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, like accommodations to a big league clubhouse.
Well, there's just it's big league standard.
Yeah,
and that's why when you hear and that's where, like, not to go off on a tangent here, but when you hear us talk about like that's big league, like there's so many different layers to the meaning, but there's just an expectation, and it's because you guys know what it's like to work your ass off at a lower level to try to get to the pinnacle of what it is you're doing. And it's because you understand what's waiting for you when you get there. Right. And when you don't have that and you don't feel that every day, you start to feel a certain kind of way. And it does, it puts in perspective. I mean, every time you travel, every time you're doing different things, you know what this is and you know what this isn't. And across the board, you just have certain standards, certain expectations, I mean, the soda machines are always full, right? The snack counter is always full, stocked to the brim. Whatever you need is there upon request. That's the big league vibe.
Must be nice. Must be nice for the Dodgers. That's another, like, not only is it like, hey, you guys have earned this with your on-field performance and the superstars that you have in there, but it's also kind of a marketing tactic. Like, hey, look at what we got. If you're a really good player and you're a free agent, this is what we got compared to what all these other bum-ass teams have.
I mean, it's at the point where it speaks for itself, no? Like, it's not even people you just know. You just know. Just like the Yankees, right? We talk about the way that they've redone their clubhouse and how it extends the length of right field and then some, like all the way to home plate. Like, the Dodgers are getting ready to turn that whole fucking mountain into a clubhouse. They're like, oh, we see your extended clubhouse. We'll raise you a 747 as well as turning the mountainside into our own personal den. Sound good? Like it sells itself.
Yeah. That's nice. Happy for them.
Go Dodgers.
Yeah. What was it the other day? We had a Dallas free pod. We were sucking off the Chicago Cubs offense. Well, they done did it again.
The other way, a little flare. Birdie around third. Matt Shaw, your hero. Ball game. Cubs win.
There's your blooper to right.
Did you see the video of it was like an older gentleman, so I don't know that he's like a streamer, but he was known for playing MLB The Show, and he was complaining about the broadcast. And so they set it up so that he was unaware, and he was playing MLB The Show with this other dude who was in on it, and Boog was behind a screen, and he was broadcasting them playing the video game, and he's like the guy was like, it's just not like realistic enough, and like Boog's like, base hit for the guy wearing the glasses, wearing the blue sweater. And he's like, how does he know that? Like, it took him a while before he could figure it out. Who's the other is it Chris Singleton?
Singy.
Yeah. So I think he was more complaining about like Singleton's call. He's like, he keeps repeating, he says the same things over and over again. So he was pro Boog, but Boog was the one that was in on the bit. It was very
Well, he should also understand that Singy was asked to record certain things that are going to play on loop.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like Singy's just picking one line to fire off every
No.
Singy doesn't live in the video game, I promise you.
Yeah, he's just being stubborn.
Yeah.
Yeah. They gave him a bunch of different lines and he just refused. He's like, this is my one line.
Yeah,
Base
that
it to
one's
right.
out of here. It's a fucking double play. What is he not getting?
Have you played the show yet? The new one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you playing with people online?
No. I've actually just I built a player for my daughters, because you can you create a player, you can create a
So it sounds like you're scared. Yeah.
No, I mean I have no problem saying I would catch hands online. Like that's
But you haven't though, is the thing. That's like if I was like, I'll beat the fuck out of anyone. It's like, well, all right, then go to this fight club. Well, I gotta play with my daughter.
No, I said I would catch hands, which means I would not be the one serving.
So you get your ass kicked if you played online.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's a fair. Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. I thought you were good though.
I am, but I'm like online. But buddy, you got to understand, like online baseball is a completely different animal. MLB The Show online is a completely different animal.
So you're saying it's because like it's a bunch of 12-year-olds that are just playing for 18 hours a day and
for money now, right? Because they stream and they get paid to do this. Yeah.
Oh.
Like the MLB Show community is we don't need to get too far into it, but they it's a competitive scene for sure. Competitive scene.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't take kindly to outside.
The fuck does that? You wouldn't be an outsider if you played.
If you come in to the fold like thinking that you're going to, I'm going to stream this, and I'm like they take pride, like you have a target on your back for sure.
Who's their leader? Sure. Who's their fucking Arnold?
I don't know.
Who's the head honcho over there?
I don't know. The head streamers. I don't know. Honestly, because you know what? Like I think a lot of them, and I stopped following a lot of them on social media because all they do is bitch about how terrible the game is, right? Like it's unplayable. This game sucks. And I'm just like, I'm over that. I don't need to hear that. I agree. I'm sure. I bet it does suck. I have a great time. If I was making money on it, I'm sure I'd be extremely pissed off about some of the developmental issues that have come along, but I just don't give a shit enough. So that was just vitriol.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Jayhay, did you know about this MLB The Show underground world?
I mean, I know that people at this point that play online are playing at an incredibly high level, and you can't just like kind of, like I used to be good at video games kind of attitude show up and think it's going to work like that. Yes, I am aware of that.
It would feel.
My brother-in-law was pretty high level gamer. Yeah, so I'm reasonably familiar.
Do you think, Dallas, that the people that are obsessed with playing MLB The Show, do you think that they watch baseball?
Yes.
Or they just play the game? You do?
No, they watch. They do.
Because I would figure, these are people that probably like work real jobs, and then at night there would be baseball games, but they're playing baseball games.
No, they'll play it and have baseball on as well.
Got it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a God, I just had I was trying to think of a like an analogy, but no, I mean they oh yes. It is for a lot of folks who collected sports cards back in the day or baseball cards. Today you have, like the digital cards, the player cards that come up that you can utilize to build different teams and compete in different online games. Like that's very similar to now collecting baseball cards. And you can purchase these, you buy stubs, purchase the cards. There's a whole marketplace for players and equipment, and it's a whole world, man. It's a whole world.
I know that you've given me shit for not setting up this PS4, and I think they're on like PS9 by now, but
yeah,
I think
you should probably.
That what you're talking about right now is why I can't get into it, is because the last time I was an involved gamer was Nintendo 64 or like PS2 maybe, and that was before streaming. That was before like the headsets and gaming online and everyone taking it super, super, super serious. So I don't know. It takes the fun out of it if the whole purpose is like, hey, I've been playing MLB The Show, and I say that on the podcast, and it's gonna be, oh yeah, what's your gamer tag? Let's play. And then I just get smoked all the time at the bar. I'm like, I don't want to play this
anymore. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens. It's like Madden. Like if you haven't kept up with Madden, like like there was a shift in the playing engines that they were using, and like just the graphics, and so much changed quickly. That if you weren't there for the change, it's a whole new world for you. And you're like, oh, what?
Mm. Did you see this dude on the Marlins got really upset last night? It's actually kind of sad. Ronny Simon?
It is.
Is it Simon?
It's tough. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. He made 3 errors in 3 innings and looked visibly upset, and then ran down into the dugout. Or ran into the clubhouse. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm sure that there's people that are like, haha, look, like there's no crying in baseball. But like, if you're that upset about it, and it like, I feel like the Marlins season has broken this man.
Well,
where like there's no one in the crowd. There's no one that cares about these games. You're going bad. The team's going bad. You're probably worried about your own future in the big leagues. Like I've played my whole life to get to this point, and here I am sucking for the Marlins. Like I don't know. I'm sure it's a compounding thing.
Well, that's honestly, this is part of what I think could be classified as, and this is what's crazy, because if you look at his overall experience, right? This is a guy who has played 7 years in the minor leagues, has played winter ball, so a lot of experience, even at just the age of 25 years old. There's a lot of baseball under his belt. That doesn't mean that there's a lot of high leverage, extremely meaningful baseball under his belt. And regardless of where your team's at in the standings, this is the big leagues and everybody's watching, regardless of how many people are actually in the stands. People are watching, that. And I think it's a combination of not being emotionally prepared for what's coming to you and having to process that and deal with that, and the pressure that you're talking about that comes with being on a roster and being in a situation where it does feel like you're waking up looking over your shoulder every day. And is today the day that I get a call that has me never get back to this place? And after you kick 3 early, you're probably going, oh, you know what, dude? This is it. I'm done. Like I saw this coming. I was waiting for the day that, just so many negative thoughts. And unfortunately, in that moment, it became insurmountable and it swallowed him up. And you hate to see that as a player. I would never wish that upon a guy. But
you ever see that before?
Yep, for sure. And if I'm being cold about it though, and just like the cold competitor in me, thank you. You've cleared space. Appreciate it. I didn't have to take you out. You took yourself out. It's one less hill I have to climb. That's one less body in my way.
Was it you or someone else that destroyed like a clubhouse? I don't know why. Like I can like visually see the story, but I can't quite recall the story where there was like sinks being taken out and just did you ever go nuts on a clubhouse?
No. Not like that, no.
Did someone else do that where they were throwing baseballs like through a wall or something?
No. I mean, I had a blow up when I went up to the batting cage and threw a couple balls and a couple bats in the wall, but nothing crazy.
I'm trying to think of like who this was. Like you definitely were there when the story was told if it wasn't you being involved in it.
No, I've watched a guy just go into a bathroom and, go into the bathroom very quietly. And then you hear just absolute hell unleash. And then he walked out of the bathroom and fucking 10 seconds later, just a rush of water. Because the fucking toilet was absolutely toast. Gone. Just disintegrated. Now we have a plumbing issue in the dugout. We're going to have to get that figured out.
Yeah, there was someone. Was it oh, what the fuck's his name? I want to say who is the dude that he was first round, first overall for the Astros, didn't pan out and then made his debut with the Phillies.
Mark Appel?
Yeah. I think it was Mark. I don't know that it was Mark who did it, but I think it was Mark that was telling it.
Was it his story?
Maybe. I think he might have been the one that was firing the balls like through the fucking wood of a clubhouse like locker. And like someone on the other side was like, whoa.
Oh yeah. No, I thought because I thought you were talking about you weren't talking about it. The blow up that I had when I got pulled from a rehab start after 5 perfect innings.
That could have been it too.
Maybe
what was that one?
It. My A-ball pitching coach, I was rehabbing and I was perfect through 5 and finished the inning. And I had 8 pitches left and he was like, now you're done. Right. And I was like, fuck you mean I'm done? I got a fucking perfect game going. I'm not done. I'm going back out there. And he was like, buddy, this is rehab. Like, I don't think you understand. You're leaving here after today and you're going back to the big, like, you're not fucking, no. Why are we even having this conversation? And I'm like yelling at him. I'm like, because I mean, this is my guy. I'm like, Emo, fuck that. What do you mean? No, fuck you. I'm going fucking back out there. And he fucking grabbed me. And he's like, you think anybody's going to give a shit about your perfect game in a rehab start when you throw a perfect game in the big leagues? And I was like, whatever. And I fucking left and I fucking just destroyed the fucking wooden panel that led to the dugout. I fucking just beat the shit out of this thing. Kicked to the clubhouse, kicked the fucking wall down, just destroyed it. And then fast forward 2 years and I threw a perfect game in the big leagues. And Emo, the pitching coach, calls me and he's like, what'd I tell you? You remember Bakersfield, motherfucker? You remember destroying the fucking clubhouse wall? So that might have been it.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to call you an asshole if you had already thrown the big league perfect game and then you cared about the rehab perfect game. But the correct order of events happened.
It was in my brain, Jared. I was like, no, this is it. This is where I get the glory, baby. You're not fucking taking this from me.
What level was the rehab start at?
A-ball. We were in fucking Bakersfield, California.
Yeah.
and I was fucking livid.
I don't think that single A perfect games even make the newspaper the next day.
They count. Fuck that. Hey, I gotta go. I have blown past my fucking luggage. Now I gotta take my fucking luggage to the ballpark.
All right. You enjoy that, pal.
All right, sorry.
See you, D. Good luck today.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, Hunter Brown, absolutely fucking disgusting. I just got to get that out there. Everything the dude threw last night had saliva and just a whole bunch of fuck you on it behind it, spitting and snarling out there, dialing up chundos. The hammer was exceptional. That guy's the fucking truth, man. The absolute truth. And watching him walk around on the mound, the amount of poise and control, emotional control that I watched him work with last night, as opposed to some other times that I've seen him. Not to say that he was emotionally out of control or out of touch, but you could see the fire burning a little hotter than maybe you felt. But last night, you can feel how hot the fire is, and you can see it burning inside, but it's a controlled flame. And I said it on the air. I said that can be problematic for the opponent, because this is a dude now who's starting to harness everything that he's always had, and you're watching it come out via production, and it's fucking dominant. That's all I got. I'm out.
All right, Dallas. Thank you.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, Justin Havens, we're going to be doing our all-century teams.
I think we should. I think we must.
Talk to me about that.
Well, that was, it's a thing that's been making its way around. I think Jason Stark, obviously friend of the podcast, put out his all-century team, and a few talking heads, few institutions followed suit. And I think, obviously that picture isn't complete until Baseball is Dead has chimed in. So
I would agree with that. It's a good point.
Yep. So I think we should. I've seen a number of people on the various social platforms asking us to do so, and it's exactly the sort of, little segment gimmick that I think could be a lot of fun and that I would really enjoy doing. So selfishly, I think it's a good idea.
I was about to say, before you use that tense, be honest with me. You've already done this exercise.
I haven't. I've been waiting to make sure that you guys were down, because I didn't want to get all excited about it and then I
feel like you could have done that for social media even if, like,
maybe I would have eventually done it, but I wanted
random off chance that Dallas was like, we are fucking not doing this.
Yeah, that's true.
Not doing it. You would have been like, all right, cool, then I'll just do it for my Twitter.
That's true.
Yeah.
But now we could get graphics built of our selections and stuff as a group.
Yeah.
And the points of contention, because I saw some lists out there from some people who are nominal baseball experts that took my breath away. So, I think a lot of them we will agree on, because I'm not looking for disagreement, but I think there are some points where, you have to weigh, since it's we're talking about 25 years, you have to weigh, well, this guy gave me 4 or 5 of the greatest seasons that we've ever seen in the front half of this 25-year span, versus this other player whose entire career may be encapsulated within this run, but who is not nearly as good of a player, and we all know that. So it's like, what do you value? Where do you draw that line? And obviously, you have to make some really tough cuts, because at some positions there are some amazing debates to be had, and even at the positions where, like, the selection ends up being less sexy than some of the other ones, like, I think catcher is ultimately the least sexy conversation of all of them, or the least sexy option. I think you're still having an interesting debate between Joe Mauer, Buster Posey, and Yadier Molina. I think those three are probably the convo, and that's one example, but that's just
at least that's a position where you have their entire careers, right?
That is nice. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, you're not debating like the last, the back half of like Pudge Rodriguez's career versus them. I mean, I know Pudge played in that window, but not a meaningful enough, I would guess.
Just misses the MVP year.
Yeah, but like Bonds was the guy I was alluding to before. Randy Johnson, another guy where it's like, we are talking about a stretch of time where Bonds was delivering statistically his greatest seasons in some cases, but you're not getting 75% of his career. You're not getting, you're obviously only getting a limited window of time. So how do you value that? Judge is kind of a similar case on this back end where it's like we have a lot of Judge's career to go, but we all know he's fucking incredible, right? So like, are you leaving him off to put Matt Holliday on, which is something I saw somebody do? I would feel nauseous about doing that. Heads up, I won't be doing that, but I think we should do it for tomorrow. Good for social, could get some conversation going in the Discord and on Reddit and that kind of stuff. And I do think it's one of those fun ones to debate.
Yeah.
So that's coming up.
That's exciting stuff.
I think so.
All Century team tomorrow. And Family Feud as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's going to be a loaded Thursday. I'm very excited for Thursday's pod.
It's going to be a big Thursday show. It's going to be a big Thursday show because we're also going to have the call-up of Roman Anthony to discuss.
That's so exciting. I'm excited for him to get started on his Rookie of the Year campaign and prove basically all of us right at this point, because everybody's on the same page with what's going on with Roman Anthony, and it's time to shine.
I think Craig Breslow actually spoke today about Roman Anthony and said some nerdy shit about how he still needs to develop.
That's too bad.
Yeah. What did he say? What does Geek say? He said, those are a few development opportunities that we want to make sure we lock in. Those are the things that the minor league schedule and training environment afford. He does all these things well, but that doesn't mean there's not a chance to try to improve. It kind of sounds a bit like we're overly scrutinizing the performance, but he has really high demands of himself. Like, what does any of that mean for the justification for keeping him down when he should be up here?
Yeah, I really don't know. That's not an extremely encouraging statement.
No.
Or convincing, rather.
Breslow's lost me, I think.
It's not going great, man. It's not going great. Since the Bregman signing, it feels like it's been all downhill.
Well, the Crochet extension was nice.
Yeah, and the Campbell extension, while not necessarily being super exciting right now, I think will age extremely well in the long term.
I agree.
And be a good thing for the Red Sox. But right now it's looking like a good thing for Christian Campbell that he got that he secured that money.
Yeah, he sure did. Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Happy for him. Anything else you want to hit on? Yankees have clinched the AL East.
Oh,
did you see that?
Come on, sir.
Did you not see that?
No.
They did.
I looked at the standings this morning. I looked at the playoff odds this morning. That's not the case.
They clinched it. Largest division lead in baseball.
False reporting.
Largest division lead on baseball. No one else. I mean, the division sucks. The second place Rays are 500. Yeah. So, I mean, all you have to do to win the AL East is have a winning record, and the Yankees are going to accomplish that. So, congratulations. Congratulations to the 2025 American League East division champion, New York Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, all right, congrats. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. May 28th. I guess I got to admit I was wrong.
Yep.
Little ambitious on the Red Sox, it turns out.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, we'll go down on that one together. I've had worse partners to go down with. I mean, you're right about the core point here, which is that the rest of the division outside of them looks excessively mediocre. So and I don't know how much that's good. Like, I was optimistic on the Red Sox, but like, I don't know how much different than 500 they're really going to be at this point. And I'm not really convinced that the Rays are all that much different than that either. So, or the Jays, and we've covered the Orioles quite a bit lately. So, yeah, I think your point may prove true that this is kind of open and shut, particularly given the reality that the Yankees are probably going to be adding pieces, as they always do, between now and the end of the season, trade deadline.
That must be nice to like
do stuff.
Be entering the month of June being like, we need to add some pieces for who we're going to play in the ALCS.
Yeah, no, that is sick. Yeah.
That is nice. It's a nice little caveat. Was there anything else you wanted to discuss today, Justin Havens?
I mean, I obviously got some Nuggs overall.
Oh, I'd love to hear them.
Okay, let's just do it. Joe Ryan, he is the first pitcher in Twins franchise history to have a 6-start stretch featuring 6 or fewer earned runs, 6 or fewer walks, 20 or fewer hits, and 40 or more strikeouts. So a lot of things there. Point is, he's been dominant. Red Sox Nation didn't like this one. I guess they found it disrespectful to Jerry Remy. That was not my intention. Maybe I didn't quite understand the level of vitriol going on with Connor Wong. I thought it was more of a statistical oddity that he had 0 extra base hits and 0 RBI over a 21-game span to start a season. But he's the first Red Sox player to have a 21-game span within a single season to start it or otherwise with 0 extra base hits and 0 RBI since Jerry Remy in July of 1980. I obviously know Jerry Remy's place in Red Sox Nation. No disrespect intended. I enjoyed Jerry Remy on the broadcast as well. But 0 extra base hits and 0 RBI while getting 50 plate appearances is kind of weird.
Well, he sucks. So
Connor Wong. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem that way. So maybe that's the last time he's ever mentioned on Baseball is Dead.
Maybe until he gets designated for assignment.
Yeah, I'll put him in the rundown if that happens for sure, because that'll be the end of the Mookie Betts trade, and we can put a nice little bow on that. I could do like a whole essay on that if I really
I think that's the only reason why he's still on the team is because they don't want that discourse to take place.
I think that's probably fair. That's definitely something that they're thinking about.
They're like, if once we get rid of Connor Wong, then the discourse around the Mookie Betts trade being finally concluded on our end of things, that's going to be a very unpleasant conversation that's going on while our team is 3 games under 500 and has fallen to 4th place in the division.
It's going to be a lot of in-plays and a lot of slideshows on worst trades in MLB history, I think. And probably some sort of content piece from me because
I'd like a deep dive from Justin Havens on that.
Yeah, I know it's going to be one of those where you're like conflicted, like, can I retweet this? Because,
no, I'd retweet
most of my followers are going to be pissed as shit. But
no, I think that most Red Sox fans want to celebrate their hatred for that trade.
Probably just want it to be over, right?
Yeah.
Like, just like
looking at his dumb face just makes me think about the Mookie Betts trade. Like, I don't want to look at him anymore.
Poor Connor Wong.
Yeah.
Jose Altuve, good thing Dallas hopped off the pod last night. That was an ugly loss. 11-1 if you weren't watching. Jose Altuve, who has been kind of rough this season. 14th career multi-homer game. That's including the postseason. But the first against the A's, which I would not have anticipated. So he got that in before time ran out. Elly De La Cruz had a multi-homer game as well last night. It's the 5th multi-homer game in his career. He's currently in his age 23 season. That is tied for the 4th most such games through age 23 in Reds franchise history. Frank Robinson and Jay Bruce have 10 each. Jay Bruce had 10 multi-homer games through age 23, which is kind of wild. Willie Mopena had 7, and Elly De La Cruz is tied with Johnny Bench.
I love Willie Mopena.
Fun little list there. Yeah, he was a fun one for a second. More fun is like a trade rumor piece from what I remember.
He was traded to Boston for. This was you want to talk lopsided trades?
Yeah,
Willie Mopena, while being one of my favorite Red Sox of all time, he was traded from the Cincinnati Reds in exchange for a pitcher that had quite the career.
Oh, yeah. Arroyo, Bronx Arroyo. Yeah. Yep, that worked out very nicely for the Red Sox.
For the Reds.
What? Oh, for the Reds. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes. Not so much for the Red Sox. Yeah. Yep. Bronson Arroyo threw 240 2/3 innings one season.
I mean, he basically wasn't he the guy that have like 8 or 9 consecutive seasons of 200 innings, and like the one year that he fell short, he threw like 198 or something.
Yeah, you're on it. He had 6 straight and then threw 199 and then came back and then threw 202 and 202. So he had 8 in 9 seasons. And then, yeah, to your point, the year that he was 199. Anyway, not to harp, but I did watch and then I did check today. Spencer Strider's 4-seam velocity. It was 95.1 last night. So he is still down a full mile an hour from his limited work last year, which was down a mile an hour from the full seasons of work the year before, which was down a full mile an hour from the season before that. So not that I have anything against Spencer Strider. I most certainly don't. But just want to shout out all those people who were with me during the offseason when I took Garrett Crochet over Spencer Strider in the redraft. Just a quick opportunity to shout me out. Juan Soto, it's not going great. I sort of just assumed it would keep going better and better after the slow start, but it's not. Actually, it's going worse. He's hitting 127 with a 410 OPS over his last 15 games, which spans 68 plate appearances. That's the end of the Nug. There's no additional context. It's just bad, and I checked in on it. Shohei Ohtani, we talked about it earlier. He's got 20 homers now. He also has 11 stolen bases. He's the third player in the last 10 seasons, 10 years to have 20 and 10 through 53 games of a season. The others are, I know, 2 of your favorites, Fernando Tatis in 2021 and Christian Yelich in 2019. He's the first Dodger ever to do so. In terms of other pace stuff, PCA continues. He did not have a homer last night, but he did have 2 stolen bases. So he's up to 14 homers and 16 stolen bases through 55 games. The last player to do that in Major League Baseball, 14 and 16 through 55, was Alfonso Soriano in 2002 with the Yankees. Bobby Witt Jr. is now at a nice even 20 doubles and 20 stolen bases through 56 games. That has only happened 4 previous times in the expansion era. So going all the way back to 1961, the only examples are Tommy Harper in 1970, Paul Molitor in 1987, Craig Biggio in 1998, and Eric Young Sr. in 2000. So it hasn't happened in the sense that 20 and 20 through 56 is a thing that's happened. It hasn't happened in 25 years. And Carlos Rodon, who I was chatting with Dallas very briefly before the podcast started about kind of how a reputation is cemented in year 1, kind of on a free agency. And Rodon was very, very bad in season 1. He was pretty effective last season, and he's been really awesome this season. That included last night where he delivered a 0-run, 0-walk, 10 strikeout performance. He is the 9th lefty in Yankees franchise history with such a start. And this year, because Max Fried also had a start like that, 0-0 and 10 earlier this year, this is the first time ever that 2 different left-handed pitchers have done that for the Yankees in the same season. David Wells is the last time that it happened that it happened twice with a lefty in the same season at all. He did it twice in 98, but this is the first time that 2 lefties have had such a start for the Yankees in the same season. And those are the Nugs.
I just saw this from Alex Spear. The Red Sox are having daily conversations about when they will call up top prospect Roman Anthony. That's from Breslow. What's there to talk about?
I just don't understand. So what things are that need to be worked on are being accomplished where you're checking in on them on a day by day basis. Like, it's not. I'm trying to think of like an example that just is or isn't. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Sounds like maybe they just need to get him up so they can stop like saying things like this and winning fewer baseball games ultimately.
Yeah, pissing off a fan base that's already pissed off.
Yep, no need for it.
Yeah. You got any final thoughts?
I'm excited to watch Paul Skeens against Zach Gallen today.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little Slab Lab veteran reunion there. Obviously, Gallen has been up and down this season, but Skeens is always appointment stuff, and the D-backs will be motivated to stop their their slide. Kershaw is in Cleveland. I mean, obviously I don't
day game Kersh.
Yeah, I don't live in Cleveland, and I'm not going to be at the game, but there's a very, very good chance this is the last time that Clayton Kershaw ever steps on a mound in the city of Cleveland at Jacobs Field, Progressive, and that's just worth noting, I think. And anybody who's at that game today, I think, is whether they planned it or whether they're just fortuitous that they got Wednesday day game tickets, and not only are they going to get to see the lineup that they're getting, but if I were choosing as a Cleveland fan or a fan anywhere that was attending the Dodgers coming into town, I would genuinely rather see Clayton Kershaw for the last time than see any of the other pitchers that they have, including Yamamoto. It's close, but I think seeing Kershaw for the last time would be cool. So that's my final thought, and looking forward to watching.
I am too. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to seeing if Sandy Alcantara is actually this bad.
Dude. Oh man, that's like probably a longer conversation than final thoughts, but like,
yeah, I agree.
Let's
talk about it tomorrow. Let's evaluate what he does today.
Put a pin in it.
He's going up against the Marlins, he's going up against the Padres, who
he wishes he could go up against the Marlins.
Yeah. They don't have like a ton of guys that hit righties super great. So maybe there's maybe he'll have a decent outing today. We can discuss that in a positive light, because otherwise, yeesh.
I mean, he's been like one of the worst pitchers in baseball. So
I would say, as far as guys who haven't yet gotten yanked from the rotation, like guys that are still getting the ball, he's probably the worst. Like maybe there have been guys who have been worse, but they're no longer in the rotation.
Yeah. And it's just so incredible because none of those other guys were considered key trade pieces or like the whole trade plan for their teams going into the year, and were mentioned by Feinstein as the most desirable trade piece as recently as like 2 weeks ago. And all he's been since is like worse.
It's very bad.
He's on my fantasy team too. And
you got to cut bait there.
I am entirely too stubborn to do that right now. I'm going to continue to ride it out, and I'll probably even start him today.
That's crazy.
Is
crazy
a bad general manager move, and I might have to have a Breslow press conference afterwards where I say,
imagine being in lockstep with the Marlins line of thinking. That's where you're at right now. Reevaluate, please.
Well, that's a good note to leave on. We'll see how the start goes today, and we'll reevaluate for tomorrow.
I'm hoping for the best. I mean, I am hoping for the best for him, but if you're in late May, basically June, and you see an 8 ERA,
totally,
you look and see like, oh, so like he just came back, right? He's only made like 2 starts. No, that's not what's happened here.
No.
He's already pitched to 9 decisions.
It's also like it's bad every single time out. It's not like this has been spiked by like 1, 2, or even 3 really bad starts where things just didn't. He's a guy coming off an injury, things didn't go right. It's like every single time it's like a borderline non-competitive start. He has one quality start is like what, obviously fucking whatever is a stat, but he has 1 in 10. That's not, and that one was 6 early. Innings pitched, 3 earned. So it's like the bare minimum to even meet that threshold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the only time he's completed 6 innings.
Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not, Maybe today is when it all turns around and we have a different conversation about him tomorrow. But I'm prepared to get a lot of nasty, nasty stuff prepared on Sandy Alcantara tomorrow.
That's too bad.
It is absolutely too bad.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is. All right. We'll be back tomorrow with our all-century teams, Family Feud, and maybe a little Nug Chef breakdown on Sandy Alcantara. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Thanks for listening. If that's your option of consuming, or your method of consuming baseball is dead, Dallas will be back for a full show tomorrow. Very excited for that. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
We gone.